Hello and welcome to my tarot reading and my tarot corner. And you might have seen in my community page that I've done the draw and I have 3 winners. So I'm going to read the names here as well because I know that not all of you have been able to get my community page. I know that people that are watching YouTube through the iPad cannot see the community page, so I will get the list of the winners that I forgot in a different place, and I will get you the name of the winners. So just one moment. So the first winner is Average Rando. The second is Angela Rancher, and the third one is Jerry Jordan. Now, only Angela Rancher said what she wanted, which was either the magical dogs or the archetype deck. Both Average Rando and Jerry Jordan did not say what they wanted. So please send me an email with your mailing address. And in your email, you can still pick a deck. And if it's not picked by either one of the others, it's okay and you will get what you want. So today I am using 2 very interesting, very unique Rider-Waite clones that are made by, I think his name is James Battersea, and his website is called Tarot Collectibles. And he's doing not only all sorts of tarot decks, like the Groovy Tarot and all sorts of other tarot decks. He's doing also all sorts of Lenormand decks, and now he's into Vera Sibilla decks. So his decks are not very cheap, but sometimes he gets out in this a very good sales, and then you can get his decks in half price, or so it's easier to buy his decks. Now, at first I did not think about using these decks, but one of my subscribers asked me about something that connects to Christmas, and I wanted to use the winter deck by him. So I decided that I will use both his decks today. So the first deck, the Groovy Weight, is going to be around the question of whether or not the child that was presented on that Zoom call by Meghan and Doria this week, very suspiciously at the same week that William and Catherine are in the USA, whether or not this child is Archie. Now, as Neil Sean said on his video, who cares? Because by now, we don't really care if that child is Archie or not. It doesn't look like the Archies that we had the privilege of seeing in the past. But we don't see him as regularly as we see the Wells's children, so we have no way of seeing him developing. But we have so many discrepancies about this child. Once he has ginger hair, and then he has very dark hair. Once he has darker skin tone, and then he has very light skin tone. So it is really not, it's not easy to differentiate whether or not it's the same child. So I'm going to do a BS detector reading and see whether or not it is Archie. And then I'm going to use the archetype deck to see the archetype of the child that was seen on that video chat or Zoom chat. We did not see the chat the chat as it is. We only saw a screenshot, and it was given to us free of charge, most probably to try and to take the limelight from the Prince and Princess of Wales. Now, we see that since the Prince and Princess of Wales have come to the US, Harry and Meghan have upped their game in trying to damage the royal family as a whole, and Catherine and William especially. And it started with this, and it went on with these racist claims by that woman who purposely tried to get Lady Hussey to say something that can be seen as racist. And I have to say that, first of all, I'm a pediatrician. And as a pediatrician, for me, it is very, very important to know the heritage of the child that I'm treating, because genetically speaking, it's very important. Now, I come from a country where people came from everywhere and all over the world. And we have here people from Ethiopia, we have people from Yemen, we have people from Iraq and from Iran and from Russia and from Poland and from Britain and from the USA and from every corner of the world, and even China and Japan. And it is not rare to ask a person about his heritage, and it's not racist, and there's nothing racist about asking a person about his heritage, especially when he's doing everything in his power to be seen as different. When someone is not trying to blend in, when he's dressing differently, when he has changed his name so his name will be different and not the name that her parents gave her, and to do everything in her power to create havoc and to create controversy. So that is also something that was, in my opinion, contrived in Montecito. And then at the same day that Harry and Meghan arrived to Boston, Netflix decided to release the first appetizer for Harry and Meghan's Netflix docu-series. And it does not look appetizing to my opinion. And I know that some people, I know of some people that are planning to watch that docu-series just because of interest. I, in my opinion, see that as a waste of at least 6 hours of my life. So 6 hours I will not get back. And I do not mean to watch that. And maybe I will just listen to some of the people that will watch it and see what they say about it. But nothing more than that. It seemed only the preview seemed cringeworthy and not real, in my opinion. Okay, so BS detector for that child. Was that child Archie? Was it not? So let's start by saying my disclaimer. This is a tarot reading. It is vibrational. It is open to interpretation. It exists as assumptions and speculation, and as such may or may not be true. So please do your own research and decide for yourself. So let's clear the deck. And let's start asking. So was the child in the Zoom call showed this week Archie, Mountbatten, Windsor? Was the child we saw on a Zoom call with Meghan and Doria, Archie Harrison, Mountbatten, Windsor? Was the child that we saw in a photograph this week with Meghan, Doria, and other participants of a Zoom call, Archie Harrison, Mountbatten, Windsor? Okay, so let's cut the deck. And the first card is the significator card, which is telling us the story behind that picture. What was the reason that picture was taken? What was the reason that picture was put out in the public domain? What is the story behind that picture? And what we're getting here is the Queen of Swords. Okay, so the Queen of Swords is the queen that Meghan always wants to be seen as. This is the queen who is the one who thinks about others, the one who thinks about social responsibility. She's the queen who is the one that thinks about climate change, about all sorts of things that you can think of that are social responsibilities. She's the one that will volunteer for others. And I wanted to do another BS detector for that picture of that woman that is suspected to be Meghan packing up food for Thanksgiving for 300 women, and I believe that it's not her, that it's just someone that was asked to wear her hair in a way that it could be seen as Meghan. Because this is what Meghan wants to be seen as. And I believe that, for example, she was very tense and very angry when she in Indiana, because everybody knew that she came by private jet. So she knows that she's a fake, but she wants everyone to think that she is such a woman that is thinking about social responsibility, that about everyone that is about everyone but herself. This is the woman that she wants to be seen as. Now, this card has an affinity with being a workaholic. Now, if you remember, people were complaining about Meghan writing SMSs or all sorts of messages, emails at 5 o'clock in the morning. And so this card may show us that she is that person. She is that person that will try to be seen as someone who is very caring about work, because she would get up at 5 o'clock in the morning just to write messages to others, because she wants to be seen that as if she's a workaholic. Now, I cannot ignore that small child here. And this is just, shouting to me, because it looks like this queen that is sitting here on her throne, and this child here, it's like an angel here that is sitting here because she needs him, because he's part of what she needs in order to get her facade, in order to get what she wants to get, in order to get forward in her life. So that picture was taken in order for Meghan to show the world how important social working is for her. That's why her mother was there, her mother, the social worker, and how social questions are important for her, and how everything that is connected to others and helping others is important to her, and how she's educating her son already from the tender age of even before 4 years old, at being at learning that he needs to know that helping others is more important than anything else. So she is keeping him there and is teaching him how to be this angel, how to be this perfect little boy. Okay, so that is the reason why we saw that picture. Okay, and the next card is the lie. So what is the lie around this picture? And the lie is the Five of Swords. Now, the Five of Swords is a card that speaks about taking action. This is a card that speaks about getting off the fence and doing something. So this card is showing us that she's actually not doing anything. She's not really doing things. She's not really, this is really a facade, that she's not really that these things are not really important to her, that she doesn't really care, not about other people, not about anyone, just about herself and about her own image. And that child was there for her own image. And it doesn't even matter if it is her own child. It's just a child that existed there for her own image. And this card is telling us that she is not taking action, that she is compromising, that she's stalling, she's sitting on the fence, she's passive, she's letting others decide for her, and that she's stuck. So because this is the lie, and because she's passive, and because she's letting others decide for her, this gives me the notion or the intuition that she actually let others tell her, you know what, you need a child there. And okay, let us bring you a child that will sit there and be with you in that chat, in that Zoom call. You just need a child that will be there, that you will be seen as if you are educating your child in the right way. So she listened because she is a fence-sitter, because she cannot make her own decisions right now, and because she's just listening to what other people tell her to do. So this is the vibe that I'm getting from this card. It doesn't mean that this is the real truth, but this is the card, this is the vibe that I'm getting. But this card is really telling us is that she is stalling, that she is not active, that she's passive, and that she's actually not doing what she's trying to tell the world that she's doing. She doesn't really care about anyone else but herself. Okay, so what is the truth? Is it Archie? Isn't it Archie? What is the truth? And what we're getting here is the Eight of Pentacles. And the Eight of Pentacles is actually a good card. It is a card that speaks about working hard, but not getting a lot of money in return. This is what this card is talking about. This is a card of an apprentice. So this is a card of a young person, someone who understands that in order to be a master in what you want to achieve, you need to learn how to do the work. And when you learn how to do the work, then you can really start making money. So this is the truth. Now, many of the affinities of the cards come from the mythological story that they are connected to. And the Pentacles are connected to the story of Daedalus and Icarus. And the Eight of Pentacles is the card that comes after Daedalus and Icarus flew flew away from I think it was from Crete. So he runs away from Crete with his son, and on the way, we all know what happens to Icarus. Icarus is so excited, he gets too close to the sun, his wings melt, and he falls down to the water and dies. And then Daedalus arrives in Sicily, and he's broken. He is very depressed, and he has to start over. And he understands that he needs to start over, and to not to expect to start from the beginning to as a master, although he already was a master in Crete, but to get his reputation built slowly. So in this card, we see a person that experienced a death of a son. So the affinity of this card is that this person here doesn't have a child. And because of that, I believe that the truth is that the person that we saw, or the child that we saw on this photograph, is not Archie. And once again, it looks as if we're going this way, but we need to understand that many of the affinities of the cards are coming from the mythological stories. And because the mythological stories are helping us to understand the cards, it's also helping us to understand the affinities of the cards. So it's very, very, very important to understand the connection of the story and the card. And this card, this person here, he works hard. He does not expect to get a lot of money, and he just now lost his son. So this person doesn't have children, and I believe this card is telling us that Meghan herself, she doesn't have children. It's not her child. Even if it is maybe Harry's child, it's not her child. Okay, so let's see what is the summation of this reading. And what we're getting here is the Two of Swords. So the Two of Swords is not an easy card, because the Two of Swords is a card of a person who is unable to see reality. And because he's unable to see reality, he chooses the wrong choice. And once again, it is about choosing the wrong choice and because of that, getting to destruction and failure that is known in advance, because you're unable to cope with reality, because you cannot see reality. As you can see in this card, this woman here, she has 4 hands, and 2 of these hands are covering her eyes, and the other 2 are holding the swords. So she cannot see reality, and because of that, she cannot make the right decision. And what this tells us is that Meghan herself, and this is the 3rd sword card that we got here. Sword, 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 pentacles. So it tells us that Meghan is unable to cope with reality. She wants the money, and she wants to be able to get the money, and because she's so obsessed about the money, she's unable to see reality, she's unable to cope with reality, and because of that, she's making all of the wrong choices, using this child to sit beside her while she's telling the world what an activist she is and how much she cares about everyone, while this child is not her real child, was a mistake. And everybody's asking, is it Archie? Is it not Archie? This is not what she wanted. This is not this is not the conversation that she thought that will happen. And this just shows that right now, after everything, she is in the 3 of Swords position of destruction and failure, because she realizes that what she devised failed. Okay, so that's the tarot. And in my opinion, that wasn't Archie. Okay. So what is the archetype of that child that was made to sit with Meghan and Doria on that Zoom call? Whether it is Archie or not, let's see that child's archetype. Let's do another shuffle. And then clear the deck. Okay, so let's clear the deck. And let's start asking. So what is the archetype of the child that sat near Meghan on the Zoom call that was photographed and put on social media? What is the archetype of the child that sits near Meghan as if he is Archie? It's a little bit hard to shuffle. It's a big deck. So what is the archetype of the child that sat near Meghan as if he is Archie? Okay, so what we're getting here is storyteller. And the light attribute of that card is ability to experience and express life through stories and symbols. So this is a card that actually is a very good card for a child, because children are usually people that children usually experience life through stories, through symbols. It's a lot easier for them to experience life this way. So this is a very good archetype for a child, because a child that doesn't know how to experience life through stories and symbols is a child that is way too grown up for his age. So this child is luckily not Archie, and luckily wasn't used too much as Archie, so he wasn't his soul wasn't damaged by the fact that he was asked to become Archie too many times. So this is it for this reading. I hope you liked it, and if you did, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave me a comment, share the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.